Morning, January 20th, on location at the dog pound. Representatives probably all inside staying warm. So, upon final measurements, I was right. I'm a dumbass. We all knew this anyway. $700, most definitely like 4 inches long or something like that. So, I have a spare, what I consider a fuck-up Cadillac drive shaft. It has like a rubber boot inside of it, but it's long enough that I can cut it off and make me a new drive shaft for this. Oops. Now, the gentleman I watch in the Carolinas, Jonathan W., I give shout outs to all day long. Guy's cool. I've talked to him on the phone. He's just a really nice gentleman. I watch him do these and have done them and building drive shafts in-house. And he don't sling his shit apart. I know the premise behind it. What's the worst I can do? Mess up that drive shaft? Big deal. What I do need, though, and I haven't found just yet, and we might take a walk in a minute and go look. Ford Chevy, 4-wheel drive front. Yeah, you're going to have to walk out in the back in a minute. Okay, so anyway, where are we at? Aside from the fact the drive shaft's too long, I got to cut it down. I've made up my mind. I'm going to use square tubing and some extra ends I've got. That's going to be the support probably, and probably the tranny mount. I've got a few of those pieces, but I'm gonna build one out of square tubing. That way I'll have room for my duals to run through here. So that was one of the things I got done yesterday. I got the motor located. I like where it's at. I've got clearance on my starter. I got room around all my exhaust pipes, like I said. Took an old Y pipe and some miscellaneous pieces, parts. Actually, that's all the Y pipe right there. Between this down and back, that guy, and then homie over here, from where he dumps out the manifold, comes down, wraps, round, and bends. That's like, I think that was like literally, I'd have to look, but I think that was all the metal from that Y pipe that I made them drops out of. So I've got a really nice set of dually drops. I'm torn to just straight pipe it, but no, we'll go ahead and hook it up. Hopefully, you'll see better in the video. I think it's going to clear for my skid plates. Might be a little tight. I might have to loosen him and tuck him up, but he ain't going to worry, and that flange is probably going to go away. So basically, Griswald for the moment is cross member, exhaust, and drive shaft. Before I set it back down, I might as well get that shit done. That's the next big hurdle. I got all the parts. I do got to walk out back and see if I can find another shaft that I can steal a yoke off of. So, I thought I had an update on his motor, and bless me, but I can find a ZAK and something before it, but I cannot find a ZAH. So I have no bleeding clue what that might be. I'm still thinking it's a vet motor, but I don't know. It's a mystery motor that came with the car. Came with the El Camino, just like the transmission that I was talking about in the little update yesterday. So before I turn and go away, I was laughing at myself. This bit of carnage up here, I knew about that dent. It whacked it pretty hard, hence why I was thinking about doing some skid plating on this thing. But what I find amusing, aside from the stuff that I was trying to show you guys, some of the scuff drag marks that are in that cross member from the Beat the Heat run. But I know I hit some shit hard with this thing, but look at the bottom side of this cross member. That's all pounded up. Those are like, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a dime to. I ain't got a coin to stick up in them gashes. But all this, I guarantee you, all this was done on the Beat the Heat run. That control arm. I wonder if it drives funny because of that. After I lifted it, man, I never did jack to this thing. And the way I lifted it was I welded this big deep dish up. That thing, I put a plate that lays on top of it. That's how I got the lift on this one. All my homies tell me I need to go find donk parts for putting the big ass rims and tires on a car and use that. We're gonna try it on Sonny's van. But yeah, the collateral damage that this thing's front end sustained, I mean, you can tell that was caught and pulled because it's supposed to look, you know, I mean, we my poor baby. Griswald, we've tried to be nice to you. Biggest reason that the front end in this thing took such a ass whooping, I'd have been better off to left it with the stock springs in back so it wasn't setting as high in back and flat, because when I pushed it up, it just kind of pushed the front end harder into the ground and it wasn't good. So let us move on. That's enough Griswold for the moment. Dad Red has a manifold. Started getting stuff plumbed up. Go to put the throw out or the slave cylinder on down there, and I get rained on. Probably because of Arizona and UV rays. This and that, and the motor being in and out of it, and this hose getting flexed or whatever. Son of a gun broke right there. So sometimes you go forward a couple steps, back up a step. So that's one thing I've got to do. I've still got to get an alternator together, and it's laying out back. Let's go grab that for a minute so y'all can see what I'm talking about. First thing is I got to get the son of a gun off the off the southern mountain. So this is my hydraulic unit. It runs like an AC clutch, electrified, kicks it on. But that's what's going to run the winch and the hydraulics for this thing. And where like I said yesterday, where I want to tuck it, it'd be really nice if I can make it work, is down here in this old spot for the air pump. It might work out. I don't know. I probably can get that lucky. Otherwise, I've seen one put on other trucks where they actually mounted it like right here above the distributor. So we'll see on that. But that pump runs that big ass winch that's hid up underneath all that stuff, and I've got all the stuff to go with it to make it work. Might have to adjust some hoses, but yeah, there's my hydraulic fluid for the clutch. So basically that's where Dad is. And oddly enough, it's kind of funny, you see all this stuff in my yard. I like to have multiple projects going, because if I get pissed off with this for a minute and it kind of roadblocks me, I'll turn away and play with something else. That's why this was shoved out in the yard, because we were having the issue with getting the damn bolt out of that manifold. Man, that was fun. But I don't get stagnant either. It manages to keep my short-term ADD self motivated and working. So that's like plow truck. Hopefully the plow's sold on it, but son of a gun, I gotta do front springs in it. They're broke. It's horrible. So anyway, let's take a walk out here real quick in the Empire Dirt. Where we at? 9 minutes, just about right. Wow, I didn't think I talked that much. Oh, I know I've got a couple spare S10 drive shafts. That's a Dexter representative. Hi, Dexter. The Prancer. I need to check the year and see which tranny's in that one. It'd be nice if I had a 4L60. I've got a transmission for it. Gambler ride, sell it ride, some kind of ride. Bingo! Just what I was looking for. Gotta have that one, but I'm gonna show you guys something neat since I'm here. So this one here, actually I should take this up to the shop. set this down where y'all can see it for a second. This collar actually, is it connected at the moment? So this collar, it will slide on here, and it was part of a factory for like an aftermarket kit. I've made it slide, but anyway, it's splined. It's a really neat little piece. It's for S10 tow pig, which obviously I've got a couple S10s around. But what I come looking for, and this, I know, video's horrible. Have a view of my yard. The rest of my yard, the rest of my world. Alright, folks. Let's see, we're at a whopping almost 12 minutes. Donor shaft. Gonna give its life so that another may live, hopefully. And we can build a drive shaft. So, I'm actually gonna set this down. The motor for my Demolition Derby Suburban's hidden underneath that. We gotta get on that. We got 4 cars for sure to build for this year. Well, 2 cars, 2 pickups. And then at some point I'm thinking about, depending on who I'm working with or who's involved, building one to raffle off. Too bad that ain't the right size. A little short. Alright, man. All the projects, stuff coming together. Definitely need to get Red up. He's a good support vehicle. Y'all have a great day. If you liking what I'm doing, want to keep watching, you know how it works. Thanks.